What is up, cheeseheads? Welcome back to another episode of BAM GPG. So, Bryson, Tuesday,
Hmm.
training camp, have some injury news. Not necessarily something you like to talk about, especially before the season even begins. But it does appear that the injury bug is making its way through Green Bay. It's a little concerning, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We do have some defensive injuries that are notable as well, but more specifically on the offensive side of the ball, we talked about it in our last episode here with Jordan Love. He had that hand issue yesterday, didn't limit him at all in practice. He was still able to kind of make it through, was not handing off with his left hand, though. And we found out today torn ligaments in his hand.
Yeah.
It's his non-throwing hand, which is the good news, right? You hear torn ligament surgery, it's scary, especially when you're talking about your quarterback, right? So Jordan Love, he had surgery today on his left hand. They do not expect him to miss any regular season time because of it. In fact, I believe they said he should be back on the practice field starting next week. That, to me, that means we're not going to see Jordan Love in any of the remaining preseason games. I don't think we will. I think they'll probably let the hand kind of heal up before that week one
Yeah.
matchup against the Lions, which is concerning to me because it does seem, especially under LaFleur, since he's taken over with Green Bay, it seems like we've struggled early in the year to get going. And
In the first game, he did better though.
yeah,
Season.
he did last season. And then he had, of course, he had that injury right at the end of the game last year that kind of almost felt like our season was derailed after that. Green Bay was able to rally. But ultimately, Jordan's Love wasn't the same last year after that. So, hoping, he comes back 100% from this, no further issues during the season. Hopefully, the surgery took care of it. But Bryson, I wanted to touch up on some of the other injuries as well. So Romeo Dobbs, we know he's had issues with concussions in the past, things of that nature. Now they're not specifically saying what this injury is, but Romeo Dobbs, he did have a collision with Williams today. On, I believe it was a deep ball from Malik Willis, and Romeo Dobbs remained on the field with trainers around him, as what is being reported. And again, injury bug. Romeo Dobbs, he has a history of concussions. I don't want to speculate on what it is until we actually get the official word, but hopefully it's something not that's too concerning that's going to cause him to miss any number of games during the regular season. We'd like to go in
Yeah.
on a healthy slate there, Bryson. And then Jaden Reed, he was walking around in a boot again today with that foot issues, and Dontavian Wicks, he remained sidelined again today with the calf issue. And then wanted to touch up on Nate Hobbs a little bit. So he will miss the remaining of the preseason. He did have that knee surgery with trying basically cleaning things up a little bit in there. They think their Packers are at least optimistic he'll be back at the start of the season for the week one matchup, if not probably week two. And Xavier McKinney, he remains out with a calf injury, but they are hopeful on McKinney making the start in week one, probably more so than what they are on Nate Hobbs at this point. But that is our defensive injuries there. So again, seems like we're littered with injuries before the season even starts. So it's a little concerning. Hopefully, we still got another 3 weeks before the season kicks off. So hopefully things can, players can kind of heal up, get ready. You still want to have them have that exposure in the preseason, but you got to find that balance, right? So I think we'll be fine going into the season. I think things will get right. Thankfully, it's a non-throwing hand, especially for Jordan Love. But kudos to Malik Willis. I know he's been impressive, especially today on his deep balls. There's a lot of praise for those. So if we have to, I do feel comfortable with Malik Willis going into the season as the QB1 if Jordan Love's not ready or if something does happen to Jordan Love. We do have a pretty solid backup in Malik Willis that, when he's on the field, you have that comfort feeling when he's out there, right? There's not a huge drop off from him and Love, and Malik Willis can make things happen with his legs too. So you're not totally out of it if you do lose Love. Again, there's 11 people on offense. It takes all 11 to be doing their job, and you feel comfortable in Malik doing that. So And then a couple star players from today's practice. I know we really hyped him up yesterday, but Lucas Van Ness continues to impress. I believe he had another 4 sacks during drills or during the scrimmage again today. So Lucas Van Ness is looking fantastic. Offensive, defensive line, we're really getting at it today. I know Zach Tom and Rashawn Gary had a few one-on-one battles, and it sounds like maybe a couple of them went to Tom's way. So that's good. You like seeing that iron sharpen iron type of deal. So some positive out of today. The injuries are a little derailing to that. But the other guy in practice today that really kind of stood out to you, Bryson.
Yeah. I forgot.
Our running back, Marshawn Lloyd. So Marshawn,
he was absolutely phenomenal today.
He was. So Marshawn Lloyd, he was sidelined with that groin injury. Last week, I believe it was. But as Bryson mentioned, he looked fantastic today. His cuts are there. And
he runs amazing.
He does. That speed, it hits different when he's out there.
Josh Jacobs and him, perfect duo. Nobody's stopping them.
I agree. It's going to be fun to watch this year. I really hope Marshawn Lloyd can stay healthy because his speed is different out there. The way he cuts and accelerates is just different than from what you have with even Josh Jacobs, right? So I'm really excited to see Marshawn Lloyd in some of these preseason games coming up. He's probably who I'm looking at most coming up in preseason because you're not going to see a whole lot of action from our normal starters. I'd like to see a little bit on Matthew Golden still, but Marshawn Lloyd, super excited for him. I think he's going to be awesome as long as he can stay healthy, which is the big question mark, right? Really, it's the big question mark for all the Packers players for what we're concerned right now.
I think he will.
Let's hope so. Knock on wood. So that is our update from the training camp today, Bryson. Not necessarily the best updates. It seems to be riddled with a lot of injuries, but
some good update.
Nothing serious, right? So nothing that's going to be, too far into the season, right? A lot of them they think they're going to have back by week 1. That does include Jordan Love. Nate Hobbs is kind of the borderline, whether it's week 1. Xavier McKinney should be back. So some positives. We'll keep you updated on the Romeo Doubs situation as we learn more on that. Again, there was nothing further disclosed after the practice today. So we will keep you updated as we hear more on that. And Bryson, as always,
let's go, Pack, go.